Lust, a word whispered in shadows, a force that moves quietly through our thoughts, sometimes igniting passion, often breeding chaos. But what is lust really? Is it just carnal desire? Or is it something far deeper, something ancient, spiritual, and hidden within the architecture of the human psyche? To understand lust, we must peel back layers, psychological, emotional, spiritual. We must confront the hidden traps, the evolutionary wiring, the inherited guilt, and the misunderstood energy that lies beneath the surface. Lust is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a messenger, a mirror. And if you understand it, you can master it, not by suppression, not by shame, but by transformation. Let us begin with the psychological traps of lust. In psychology, lust is often described as a basic biological drive, triggered by neurochemicals like dopamine and testosterone. But the hidden trap is this: lust hijacks the reward system of the brain. What starts as attraction can quickly become obsession. The mind creates fantasy, the body responds, and soon the person is no longer engaging with reality but with a projection, a loop of desire, anticipation, and temporary satisfaction that never truly quenches the thirst. The more you feed it, the more it grows. The mind becomes conditioned to chase novelty, intensity, forbiddenness. That's why porn addiction is so rampant in the modern world. It's not about connection, it's about escape. The screen becomes a mirror, not to who we are, but to what we fear and crave in silence. Here's the trap. Lust thrives in the absence of presence. The moment you're disconnected from your inner self, lust becomes the substitute. It offers instant gratification, while silently starving the soul. Now, why do some people struggle with lust more intensely than others? There are multiple layers to this. Some inherited trauma, others unmet emotional needs. Children who grew up without affection, without validation, often grow into adults who use sexual attention as a form of proof that they matter. And then there's trauma, abuse, shame. If lust is a fire, trauma is the gasoline. For others, it's the result of strict religious conditioning, where sexuality was taboo, dirty, or sinful. These individuals often find themselves oscillating between repression and indulgence. They hate what they crave. They crave what they shame. It becomes a loop that erodes self-worth. But beyond psychology lies the spiritual perspective, a perspective ancient and often forgotten. In the spiritual traditions, particularly within Christianity, lust is not merely a sin of the flesh. It is a distortion of sacred energy. The Bible offers piercing insights. In Matthew 5 verse 28, Jesus says, "But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." This is not a condemnation of desire itself, but of misdirected attention, attention that objectifies, that separates rather than unites. In James 1 verses 14 to 15, it is written, "But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death." The warning is not about sexuality. It is about ungoverned inner life. When lust rules you, it leads to the death of clarity, purpose, connection with God. But the Bible also hints at redemption, at power through discipline. In 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, we read, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear but of power and love and self-control." Self-control is not denial. It is mastery. So how do we master lust? Not by fleeing from it, not by pretending we are immune. We master it by facing it, understanding it, and transmuting it. What does transmutation mean? It means taking the same energy and redirecting it to higher purposes. Lust is raw creative power. that same power can create life. It can create art, vision, movement. The energy you feel when sexually aroused is not evil, it's energy. The question is, where do you send it? The ancient yogis knew this. Practices like brahmacharya were not about celibacy for the sake of abstinence, but about conserving and redirecting sexual energy to expand consciousness. The great saints and mystics understood that when the root chakra, the center of survival and sexuality, is balanced, it feeds the spine, the heart, the mind. Modern neuroscience even supports this. Semen retention, for instance, shows potential increases in energy, focus, confidence. Not because of magic, but because discipline trains the brain to reroute craving into creativity. To transmute lust, you must first become aware of it. Notice the patterns. When does it arise? What triggers it? Where does it go? Don't judge it. Just observe. Then, connect it to your breath. When you feel the fire, breathe deeply. Let the energy move through your body. Don't suppress, circulate. Second, find a higher aim. Lust often arises in moments of purposelessness. A man or woman on a mission feels desire. Yes, but it doesn't dominate them. Purpose absorbs and transforms. Third, practice sacred sexuality. If you are in a relationship, turn physical intimacy into a form of communion. Slow down. Look into each other's eyes. Merge not only flesh, but soul. Move from performance to presence. From consumption to creation. Fourth, fast from digital arousal. Pornography is a trap of the mind. It tricks your nervous system into thinking you're achieving something while draining your will. Break the loop. Replace the habit with something that requires effort, movement, meditation, meaningful connection. And fifth, invite grace. This is not a journey of perfection. It's a path of return. Return to the self, to God, to love that doesn't need to be earned through seduction or fantasy. If you fall, stand. If you stumble, learn. In 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13, we are promised, no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. There is power in the struggle. There is strength in restraint. There is wisdom in the battle between flesh and spirit. And perhaps the greatest truth of all, the enemy is not lust. It is unconsciousness. When you become conscious, awake, when you walk with intention, you don't need to fear desire. You can channel it, refine it, and one day, you will look back at the days when lust controlled you and smile. Because now, it serves you, not as a master, but as a servant of purpose, of love, of God. This is the way forward. If this message resonated with you, if it stirred something deep within or offered a new lens to see your struggle or your strength, then stay connected. Subscribe to the channel, not just for content, but for a community, a place where we don't run from the shadows, but learn to walk through them. Where we speak the truth not to judge, but to heal. Where every video is an invitation to grow, to rise, to remember who you really are. And if you're on this journey too, if you've battled with lust, with temptation, with desire and discipline, drop a comment below. Share your story, your insight, your questions. You never know who needs to read your words. Your honesty could be the light someone else was praying for. And if you're ready to go deeper into purpose, power, and presence, this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching. Keep walking, keep awakening, and never forget, the fire inside you was never meant to burn you. It was meant to forge you. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware, stay you.